Oh, we've just come from that way, but we're going this way. And this does actually look like the proper miners' village, because you can see more ruins and abandoned structures down here, which we'll get a closer look at. And here's some info on the Glendalough mines. They're now known as the Miners' Village. This group of buildings, built by the Mining Company of Ireland, 1824 to 1890, is a little map of how it should have been, and the obligatory "You are here" location point. Now, this is truly interesting. We'll just go through these steps here into one of the old buildings and enjoying the view, looking down. So we'll just jump down in this spot here to explore a bit more of it. Back to the trail again. Had to run down then. And Wildlife Act 1976, National Nature Reserve. Please do not disturb the animals or plants in this area. You've been given a warning from the 70s. So, it says end of walk. But that's strange because there's still a trail here. But I'm going to continue as long as I can, because it has said on maps that the trail does extend further, which I'm sure of. So just go over those stepping stones there, which is fun to do. And there's still more of this miners' village to explore. Oh. Wow, just look at this here. All that there. You can see some of the rocks are stained red, so I wonder if that's of any of the oxidization of the metal which was mined here from back in the day. It's a shame that they're still not intact, but I guess lying derelict, nature will reclaim hers. I think this is one of the last of the buildings on this route, and it says, "Danger.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Keep out. Falling masonry." So I'm just going to have a peek in from the outside, just to be on the safe side, even though it does look perfectly safe to me. So I'm going to go back onto the path now. I think we've got maybe an hour, 20 minutes or so till sunset. I'm still on the original side and I need to get onto the other side to continue the walk. But I say that we've covered most of the scenic aspects of this vlog anyway. But never say never, because I'm still in hope that I discover something which I never knew about. I love discovering things for the first time and showing it you all, because that's where my excitement of vlogging comes in. Discovering new things, and even going back to the same spots where I was previously and finding things which I'd missed the first time is a delight in itself. So I've now exited the miners' village, and the path seems to be getting more rugged as we proceed, but still doable. It's quite an easy trek. Well, easy to moderate. I say that's a moderate part in front of us, but it's definitely worth doing if ever you think about visiting this area and you have a bit of energy about you. And there's a couple of hikers joining me, running into me. Hi, sorry. How far up is the footbridge which takes you across?
Yeah, listen, I'd really appreciate it if you could give me directions back onto the expressway.
I'd say maybe like if you're going up that way, half an hour, 20 minutes.
Oh, right. Is it above that waterfall?
Yeah, so you go over and then you kind of go on the flat for a bit. You'll see it there.
Okay.
But is veering off to the right, isn't it? Just up
yeah,
here?
so it kind of like takes you up that path and then you go right and walk along that way for a bit.
Oh, right.
And afterwards you're going to be footbridge on your
Just
left.
up there. Okay. So it's a fairly easy hike. It's not too hard, is it?
If this part is pretty sound, if you're planning to go like the full way around, it's a bit long. Like it's not necessarily tough, but it's just a couple of hours.
Okay.
Yeah, just long more so.
All right. I'll chance it.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for that. Thank you.
Yeah, just up the hill.
So, bit of advice there from them, but I don't actually think it's going to be as long as they say it is. But I'll chance it anyway. In worst case scenario, I'll just come back the way I came, which I don't want to do, but sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do, just for safety purposes and that. So, you can see that jogger there in the distance. He's just passed me by. He said it was his first time up here as well, and he doesn't think it's going to be that far away anyway. But you can hear that I'm getting knackered. It's these steps and the fact that I'm not as fit as I appear to be, but it's all part of the fun. It's a great workout in itself, so get the blood rushing through your body, through your brain. I really have to get back to this gym soon. I've just been so lazy because of this darn pandemic. That's everyone's excuse these days. The pandemic. But October 22nd is meant to be Freedom Day for Ireland. Hopefully when virtually everything will be open to the public. Oh look, he's really scooted on ahead. You can see him there, just gone around those ferns to the right. And looking back at an even higher vantage point, you can see the miners' village, and you can see all the way to the marsh part and Glendalough Upper Lake, just in the distance, in a lovely light blue colour. So this is the spot where the jogger took a sharp right and vanished behind those ferns. So you can see the pathway there in front of me, and it's going to take a sharp left in a moment, which will head up that bank there, going upwards and upwards, and probably by that lonely tree there. That's the way I've just come from, and that was quite a steep hike, and there's still a fair way to go, and I am absolutely knackered at this stage, but I'm still going. I find some reserved energy, some stamina in me, because I have to complete this before nightfall. You're my motivation, people, remember that. People like you, you're important to me, because I love to showcase my treks and adventures out and about in my locality and beyond. Oh my goodness, I've got to be a little bit quiet now because I can see something amazing in front of me. I feel like David Attenborough now, how he feels when he's approaching creatures in the wild.
This is the rarest living animal in all the world.
There are some deer just right there. I'll just move the camera a bit closer. Can you see them? Just to the right, on top of that rock there. I'll get as close as I dare to them, because chances are they're going to scarp and want to get right up to them. The wind has picked up quite a bit, but luckily it's downwind to the deer, so they couldn't smell me coming. But wow, look at that, they're just staring right at me, and I'm very close to them. That is such an amazing sight, people. This is the first time I've been this close to them in the wild. This is an amazing experience, and I dare not get any closer, but they do look cute. I think that must be a grown-up baby deer, well, from my limited knowledge, because it still has the camouflage on them. I'm going to leave them in peace and carry on my trek before nightfall, because I think sunset is just over half an hour away. And just to the left of the deer, there's a little waterfall. That's what's making that white noise, which you could hear, and it goes up there, and I think the footbridge is just at the top there. And yes, I finally reached it. It's the footbridge at the very top, which signifies more or less the end of the trail, where I have to turn back on the other side. So here it is there. And I actually thought it was going to be a rickety old shack or something like that, but looks like they've done a good job maintaining it. So we continue on the Miners' Way, as it says there, over this bridge, which I must actually say that parts of this is not unlike what I've seen on parts of the Everest Base Camp trek. So I'm quite surprised at the similarities with this trekking route anyway, compared to the upper parts of what I've seen. But hey, here's another bridge there. So we're full of surprises. I did not expect this second one, but it's more of a plank across with metal rivets on the side of it to keep it intact. And as we're going even further up, another couple of boards marking this route. So I'm actually looking around because I thought we were meant to cross over to the other side, but maybe it's a bit further on. So I'm still continuing on. Way in the distance there, you can see Glendalough Upper Lake, which I think is probably about 3 kilometers at least, or over 2 miles behind me. But look at this. I wonder what the story is with this hut, whatever it is. How on earth did they get it up here? Unless they carried it up bit by bit and assembled it. But I wonder what it is by day. Para siempre. If someone could translate that for me. Alonso, if you're watching this, if that's Spanish, let me know. But it's locked up anyway. That's interesting. August 2020. So I guess that's the date that it was established up here. And finally, we have reached the proper bridge in question, just ahead of me there, and we have this nicely done boardwalk too to take you to it, which is a welcome relief from those rugged rocks with the uneven surface. So this is a pleasure to walk on. This is a point where I'll be crossing over to the other side, and then it's homeward bound on the way. I don't think I'm going to stop really for the rest of it because sunset is only 10 minutes away, I think. Oh wow, look at that, there's a load of deer just right there in front of me there, jumping around, if you can see them. That is amazing. So there's 3 times now I've come across deer along this trek, and even to the left there's a few there too. I don't know if you can see them in the distance, and that's a view back to the lake. And we're going to head back to base, or actually the Upper Lake car park where I'm parked. So that is just about it from me, ladies and gentlemen, here for the Miners Way Glendalough Upper Lake circular loop hike. So thank you for joining me. I don't know how many more vlogs I'll be doing till the end of 2021 because it has come to the end of, well, we're now in autumn, summer has ended, so the nights are going to be drawing in, so there's less chance of me coming out and about. Plus the weather as well is going to start getting nippy, so unless I happen to be in Portugal or Bangladesh or somewhere else exotic where I'll be out and about earlier in the day and enjoying the weather, I'll be vlogging that, of course, if I'm there, and you're welcome to join me on that. So until the next one, have a good week. You all take care. I'll see you again soon. Bye. And just a little bit further from the top bridge where I've just crossed is Van Diemen's landmine. Some information about it here. You can pause it and read in your own time. I am here where the red star is, and I've got to go all the way back to about, where am I? There, where the peace sign is, the car park. And here's the view looking back on the trail from where I've just walked down.